don't get a choice.
Yeah.
Yep. So the question
never
is,
get a
Marriage, put up with them.
I heard some of you don't get a choice on that either.
No,
Is that
you
just-
don't get a choice.
No, it's just not going for me.
Yeah.
India, no way.
No.
A lot of us come from India, and how many of us had arranged marriages? What do you think is the success rate of arranged marriage?
100%.
Oh.
Good one.
I've been married for 21 years to the same wife. 2 kids, twin daughters, 18 years old, going to UC Santa Barbara.
Same wife.
And UC Davis. So, sorry, UC San Diego. So the point here is that arrangement sometimes works, right? We don't choose the team, we are in the middle of a team. But success is what you create, right? Dealing with different members. That's you. If things were hunky-dory, birds were chirping, we all will be in heaven. Of course, everybody knows that. But we know from real life, that's never going to happen, right? Projects are chaotic. Projects are turbulent. Requirements will change. Customer collaboration is a continuous process of engagement, right? So from that standpoint, I would like to pick the thread from what Steve said and take it forward. Steve, which one?
Left and right.
So things start with the vision, right? The business case. What are we going to do? What do we have in our minds? You see here. So the business case or the feasibility. Why are we even doing it, right? How many times is the team involved in the discussion in companies?
Team is never involved in when we are doing the vision statement. Because team comes in later. It's only in the execution phase in most of the organizations. It's always the management who's involved into the product vision.
Strategic decisions.
Mostly top-driven, followed by.
Correct.
Bottoms up, right? The philosophy of the Scrum is bottoms up,
Bottoms up.
right? Hey, if you get the team involved right in the beginning, then it is easier to implement. I create a design and I give it to you. Hey, implement it. How would you feel versus I engage you in the development of the design?
I have a question here. So, team consists of 10 people, let's say. If you
Team-
start involving all 10 people in every decision, wouldn't it be chaotic? Because the more number of people involved, the more conflicts going to come
I
up.
think
Yeah, too many cooks for
the point
soup.
is keeping in loop. For example,
Ah,
QA.
yeah.
You give the product to them after everything is done. That's not the point. QA
Correct,
should
correct.
be part of the
Involved right
BRD,
from the
FSD
beginning.
sessions and everything.
Correct.
See, it's like this. A lot of us come from India, right? Have you seen a horse cart there? And have you noticed that the horse has blinds here? What do you think that means?
Don't look
So don't look.
Go
Focus.
straight.
Don't go left like this, go straight. Do as you are. So
Ask
if you don't do, I have this thing. Have you seen that? The whip, right? So, as our friend Steve defined, in complex projects where we need the intellect of that horse, right? That horse has to become a humanoid, right? He or she has to be really engaged in that process. Guide, philosopher, who's not only helping, is getting helped, right? So if you engage the team in the vision and the development part later on, it will make sense to them. Often people say, why are we doing this? I don't know. I don't think we should be doing this. Right?
So, but I think that's reality because even today, even if you're implementing Scrum or not, it's already decided at the senior level because we are driving to a certain strategy and we are basically aligning. So, and I sometimes see the value there because if you try to get too many people involved at that level, there'll be chaos and probably somebody might even lose their job,
Yeah, and
So-
I don't think it really that we even need to say that everybody has to, get their hands into a vision. But do you even see this vision? Does somebody actually give this to you and help you understand, wait, what is this all about, this thing we're doing? Or do they just come to you with a bunch of requirements?
Right.
But I think it's more, probably the latter way. It's basically they've already decided that they're going to do something and here, run with it. So I don't know. I mean, that's.
So I think the perspective is how you fit into the big picture. If you have a vision, if you are part of it, you don't have to be a decision maker. If you know what is going on, you will be able to relate what is your job and how you fit it in into the big picture.
So it's actually driven by a specific set of team, which are this strategic planner. Most of the time, that's the team which is driven by a focus. Whether that decision is based on it's customer driven, like basically a requirement, is it customer driven or is it business driven or is it towards profitability of the company? So there's a goal to it, why we are coming up to a vision. And based on that goal, let's say it's profitability driven, then it's the finance team which is the strategic planner for it. Let's say it's customer driven, then it's based on the customer requirement, which is, so it depends on the company's focus, every organization or team focus. Depends, I think the vision depends on that.
I think the main thing we would say here is just, it's not even so much whether you're involved in making it, but you might actually tweak it over time by, getting them new ideas and ways to adjust their vision, which is cool, right? But the main thing is, do you even know what it is?
Exactly.
And this is something we should have been doing even before Agile. It's not really specific to Agile. What the heck are we doing here? What's the vision?
Correct.
What's the, and it's all about communicating to the team and treating you like owners of the business now instead of like code monkeys. Just do this little thing, Don't worry your little heads about the problem, what we're trying to solve. That's for us important business people to worry about, Let's go do this coding. That it wasn't quite that bad, but almost, right? And here instead we're saying, let's share the vision with you, because guess what? We're gonna let you make more decisions now as part of the team, being a self-organizing team. So I want you to know what we're all about, so you make good decisions. Maybe something like that.
So I would say that, see, vision is, pretty much, it is built at the leadership level or something, right? But finally it comes to the team, and team is made definitely, they're aware of what they have to do, because ultimately they have to build the product, right? So they're aware of it, but is it sometimes, do they agree to it? That yes, this is the product I want to build and this will really add value. May not be, the people at the ground level agree to it, but they build it because somebody wants it. We have to
Because
do it.
we might not see the same benefits that the leadership sees sometimes, because knowing the ground reality.
Could be. And again, we're not saying don't trust your leaders or, on the other hand, if you're a really great Scrum team and you totally don't buy into the vision, you know what, you're very marketable. So, go find a place where you buy into it.
Or you should have the courage to tell the senior management that this is not worth doing.
Now, also I think, see, the senior management, if they're deciding on a product feature or a vision, right, it's their budget, it's like their cost for them. So they would have done enough background, like enough surveys, enough customer interactions, whatever that is, to figure out that as a company or as an organization to go to the next level, this is the direction I need to go to. So it's like, like at the Scrum level, right, you're only looking at one piece of it or like one product piece of it. But then the whole product vision, that if it's given by a C-level, they're accountable if it fails or if you build it and then if it's not valuable. So they would have done the use cases, whatever that is, right? If I do this thing, so all that they would have done. So if it comes to you by the time it's like, okay, let's say your team doesn't have a security feature. If that's the way that they're going, you can probably talk to the team about how you want to implement it rather than what should be implemented, right? Because its security is already decided.
And I think the product owner, that's the responsibility of a
Product owner.
Correct. So
They would have done all
the
the work.
There are two things we're talking about. One is the dev team, right, which is developing the system, and the Scrum team. Now we said Scrum team includes the Scrum Master, the product owner, and the dev team. So the Scrum team should know what is going on, right? So the product owner should be able to define very clearly what he wants, because if he doesn't know how this brings business value to the project, then the team will not be able to relate to the project. So as a part of the big picture, the senior VP of the business, the product owner is the guy who's responsible for translating that high-level vision into workable items for the team. So that's the sense here. So much like what we have the elevator pitch, tell us in 30 seconds what is to be done. So everybody should be very easily able to understand what we're doing. What are we building? For whom? So that's what we had next segment.
I do in just a minute. So this one is called the Jeffrey Moore elevator state. It's just one example of the vision, right? But it is a vision that's easy for us all to understand. If you know user stories, it looks kind of like a user story on steroids, right? So I often use this suggest this as a way to do the exercise here.
Correct. So the idea is, friends, what are we doing and how is it different than the rest? So I think we have an exercise here.
What is the value, what is the value add basically?
So this is
The
my
value
example.
add, yeah.
I made this example up when I was hunting for a new house. The next one is my example of trying to write an elevator statement. So this is where I was, I was in the middle of buying a new house, and so I came up with this idea. May not be the best idea ever, but hey, it follows the elevator statement. Says for people that are selling a house, Home Vids is an app that lets you easily generate videos of your property, post them to the most popular websites. Now here's the competitive part. Unlike manual data techniques, I don't know what a competitor is. Home Vids coaches you through using your smartphone to create the perfect videos that will help you sell your house quickly. So it's just an example of what an elevator statement might look like. Maybe not the smartest idea ever, but you guys are going to come up with your own idea, it turns out. It's the second. So that leads us to the exercise. Now, this is an important